As Fuck will be a podcast dedicated to discussing topics that primarily affect the Black community.
As Fuck was created to shed light on issues that plague our community, but also promote Black excellence and create a platform for folks who identify as Black to share their stories, life tips, and important information we need.
While the hope is to change our listeners' way of thinking, our main goal is to provide thought-provoking conversations for friend groups and bring awareness.
My name is Chancey.
And my name is Charles.
And you're listening to As Fuck, the podcast.
That's racist as fuck.
That's homophobic as fuck.
That's Black as fuck.
That's crazy as fuck.
That's wild as fuck.
She was depressed as fuck.
That's stupid as fuck.
She broke as fuck.
That's silly as fuck.
That's far as fuck.
That's hot as fuck.
This is stressful as fuck. Hello.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
What's going on?
So, this is the first time that we have ever done anything visual. And I know that you and I, Charles, have talked a lot about wanting to be visual, doing things a little bit more visual. Obviously, it can be hectic from time to time trying to maneuver that and get that done. But here we are.
Okay, here we are.
And we're not alone.
Oh, yeah.
No, we are not.
So pretty much y'all are looking at the person who pretty much makes the podcast happen behind the scenes.
Yes, yes.
Do you want to introduce yourself, Nick?
I'm Nick. I don't know I'm not good with introducing myself, but yeah.
All right,
I edit for these guys. I guess you could say I produce it in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You do. You make the. We the entertainment side, and you make it happen, make it sound good, make it look good. So we definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
Welcome to this episode. With us, we really truly appreciate you being here. It's a pleasure. I think that this is going to be a dope conversation between three Black men and just talking. Just having a good conversation. So yeah, Chancey, you the starter of everything.
I usually do start everything. I know. And tonight I'm just like, okay, where do I start?
Right.
First things first, how was y'all days? So I always ask that first.
Absolutely. You do. And I usually answer the question, Nick, but since you are the guest for tonight, how was your day? How's everything going for you today?
My day was pretty cool. I didn't really do much today. Yesterday was kind of busy, so today I stayed up a little late and then slept in, got up late, ate some food, did a little bit of work. Not crazy.
Yeah. Like that. I mean, it was a hot day today. I don't know if it's hot where you are, but
I wasn't outside too much. It was pretty calm. It was nice. It wasn't cold.
It was nice. Yeah. Yeah. I had a decent day too. It was hot. I went outside. I tried to read, and it was my colleague was like, "It's too hot to be outside, Charles. Why don't you just come over here and we can read together?" I was like, "All right, let's do it." So that's what that was. And I just chilled out for today's, regular old Tuesday and stuff like that. Just chilling, getting some work done, had some meetings. That's really about it. What about yourself, Chancey?
It was cute. I had to work. I had a couple of meetings. I was mad though because I went to Starbucks to get my blended strawberry lemonade, and by the time I got home, the shit was fucking separated. So it was this much juice at the bottom and this much frozen wrapper. I don't know if it's a Starbucks that I go to. And I used to work at Starbucks years ago when I was in college, and it's so blended strawberry lemonade. So Starbucks has a secret menu. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but like they have like
like a lot of places. Like Rita's, they have a secret menu too.
So Starbucks has a complete secret menu, and when I was working there back in the day, you get a little.
I never know you worked there.
You know, I've had several jobs.
Keep it going.
I've had several jobs. So listen, no, I worked there 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. It was short though, but I loved it. They have good benefits. You know, up until the little racist incident they had in Philly about like a year or so ago, they were good in my book. But they have a secret menu. So when you're a barista there, I don't know if they still do this, but back when I was there, you get a little key ring of like every single recipe. So that way, like, you know how to like do it, like behind the counter. It's like if someone comes up to you and says some wild ass fucking drink, like you like, all right, bitch, like boom, well, I could pull that shit the fuck out. It's right here. Like you thought you was about to stump me, but you not. Like I got it. And it's step-by-step instructions too, which I fuck with.
Yeah.
So the blended strawberry lemonade is not on the menu like that, but I love it. Like it's good in the summertime. Like I don't always necessarily want tea in the summertime.
Right.
So, and the tea that I used to get from there, they don't really have, like, they can't make it the way they used to because they discontinue the products. So I went and got it and I got my brownie warmed up. And yes, I need my brownie warmed up. Or can I have a cold?
Essential. Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. No one wants a cold brownie.
No one. But my question is,
yes.
You waited till you got home to drink that drink?
Well, Starbucks is up the road, sweetie.
Oh, okay. But you didn't,
okay, so you know what that, like, you know what,
because that shit would have been done by the time I got to the house. You feel me? Like it would have been gone.
So you know that gas station is at where we stopped to get gas at before we got on the road that day?
Yes.
It's literally right. Starbucks is right there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that
How far is that from my apartment?
No, that's not far, but it is hot. It was hot today. So
it was not that hot today.
Shit,
it was not that hot today. It really wasn't. It was not that hot. It was
Ohio weather was. It was like 90 degrees out here today.
Oh, literally. It was only like 70 something here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe 60, 70.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm the only one that had a hot day. Okay.
Yeah. Now, this past weekend, it was hot.
Man.
Yeah.
This past weekend, it was hot as fuck. Like, it was.
I was in a tux all day Friday, burning up.
Oh, you were in the tux. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like 11 in the morning to 12 night. Like, sweat.
Ooh. Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
So I'm very committed to an outfit once I have it on. Like I'm like, I can be in pain, but you would never know because I'm all about getting the picture and everything like that. Like that's me. So like,
Chancey about the presentation.
Yeah. So if the picture didn't happen yet, I got to get it together, and I just got to tough it out a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
My boyfriend
still blazing.
Yeah, my boyfriend had a wedding that he was in last weekend, and he took his tuxedo off like immediately once the reception started. And like all of like the groomsmen, including the groom, changed into like groom squad shirts, which were really cute in hindsight. But they changed their top part. He changed into some Air Jordans. Everybody else kept their dress shoes on.
Okay.
I'm gonna fuck him up because
and I was trying to get some nice pictures and like and Charles. So that's what I had on that two-tone suit, Charles. So I came to the reception. I'm like, he like, babe, I'm about to change. I'm like, we ain't even get no nice picture yet. Like, I'm like, damn, come on, like. And then all the pictures we do have, he either kissing on my neck because he drunk, and it's just, we can't. Yeah, I was like, we can't. Come on,
you need a little family photo, like a little.
A little civil. Like we could do that later on. That's for the gram. Like on this private though. Yes. Yeah. I feel you on that.
Like I could like in the pictures we had, he drunk, sweating. I'm just like,
Yeah, I feel you. So, okay, so while we're on the top, while we're here talking about fashion. Fashion, okay? And Chancey, you are like, you went to school for fashion, you have an eye for fashion, you have so many. So what is like y'all ideal outfit that make you feel like that man or that person, whatever you want to feel like that day? Like, what is your ideal, like, because I know you talked about having a tux. You had a two-tone tux thing going on too. I like them too, but like, what is your like ideal, you know, outfit? I don't, you know.
Man, I never really thought about it, but I'm thinking about it now.
So while y'all thinking, let me put my 2 cents up in it. I think that for me, my ideal, well, first and foremost, I have to be comfortable, right? But I have to have something that is a little stretch because me, I like to dance. I like to have fun. So if I'm going out, I want to be able to move. So it has to have like some stretch, but it got to look good. Like, because, you know, stretchy material, when you put it on, it could look bad because it don't like, it like conforms to your body, but it also just, it don't got no, it just be like whatever. So like something that's stretchy, but it's like nice looking, some room. I like stuff that's a little colorful.
Okay.
I just like it to be neat and good looking and clean looking. Sometimes I'll go over the top with certain things. Like I might wear like, you know, some fire shoes with mad different colors in it, but it is still match. But I also like to show a little bit more skin now. And I think that before I didn't like to show skin because one, for me, like back then it was like, oh, guys shouldn't be showing legs like that. Or like, that's what I grew up to like see and feel sometimes. So now I like to show my chest off. I like to show my legs. I like to show a little bit of my, you know, my body. So my ideal outfit would be comfortable, a little colorful, but something where I could also show a little skin.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I like comfortable too. Like, I like fit pants, but not like too skinny. But I hate baggy anything, like, because it just makes me look, I'm already kind of big, so it just makes me look way bigger, and it'd be like, nah, I need something that's kind of fit to the body. I like one-tone colors, like you probably see me in all black more than anything. Mm-hmm. All black joint. Red is my favorite color though, so like if red is somewhere in there, either like,
shout out to the color red,
like a black shirt, black slacks with like a red blazer, or like anything like that. Even like so I had this like red flower one time that I like put on my suit. I wear it, so like little. Yeah, I'm still learning to express myself more.
Yeah,
with clothing, because again, like it wasn't something that I did a lot as a kid, like, or even in my earlier adult ages. So now like I'm getting more into like exploring with what I really like. Same thing with the skin too. Like I didn't wear a lot of shorts, and now that I'm getting more tattoos, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to show these off.
So yeah,
the arms be showing, everything's gonna start showing eventually.
I'm very experimental. So with me, like I will like I've always worn shorts that were too short and everything like that, or like mid-thigh and stuff. I think the day I met Charles, like I think I had like a sweater wrapped around my neck. I was dressed like Carlton from like up here.
I could tell you his outfit, and this was in 2012. He had this, I think it was a polo or was some type of shirt. It was blue or white.
Yeah.
Or the sweater was blue or white.
The sweater was wrapped around my neck. Yeah.
You had it wrapped around. You had some shorts on. I
had Bermuda shirts on. I think I had on like Vans.
I don't know if they weren't Vans. They were those other shoes that they were very popular. Sperry's. I think you had a pair of Sperry's on. Yep.
Maybe.
I believe. Yep. Probably. No, bitch, you did. I know. Yeah. I'm like me telling you what you had on. Bitch might be like, I ain't never owned a pair of Sperry's a day in my life.
I haven't bought them in a long time. Yeah, you know, I like all different types of stuff. Like I've always I don't know. Like I've always been able to. I always want to express myself through my clothes. Like that's how I've always done that. So like I don't know. Like for me, like I wear a lot of different type of stuff. Like I have favorite colors, but like I'm not married to a color. I'm more about the.
I am.
Yeah, I definitely am.
I mean, I'm married to black, but like I am. Well, first things first. My ideal outfit would probably be anything I look slim in, because I'm all about presentation. So anything that I look slim in, anything that does not have me looking crazy, where now, in terms of uncomfortableness and everything, I don't mind being uncomfortable to a certain extent. Like I'll be uncomfortable. Like I don't have It is right, because I want to. If I'm going for a look, like that's it. In my mind, I'm like, okay, but you got to wear that,
right.
Mm-hmm.
and you just spend the whole entire day, just fixing whatever it is. Like, I think on my last birthday, I had on a kimono and these white pants, and like some sandals. And like, when you wear stuff like, it just is always moving, and it's just always just
rubbing against your skin and
stuff.
Yeah,
it's just always moving. And it's just like, okay. And I got it from ASOS, and I mean, they have pretty good clothes. But, it's just like, I don't know. I commit to the aesthetic. I have no problem committing to the aesthetic. I'll be in pain, and then I'll just get home and complain about it later.
I can't do pain. Like, I just can't do no. I can't do the uncomfortableness. I will pop a shirt off. I'll be like, y'all gotta act like what I asked you the other day. I was like, Chancey, you don't got no t-shirt in here. I was like, I need a t-shirt, bitch.
You definitely
because I'm popping off everything that I need to pop off, shoes and everything. I will walk barefoot. I don't care. Like, I need to be comfortable. Yeah. It's ironically enough, I like fashion, but I don't like wearing clothes. It's like kind of weird to me, because like I like it, but like when I'm ready to take them off, I'm ready to take them the fuck off. So that's that.
I think also, like, my dad is definitely big on fashion, but he, as a kid, he would impose his style on me. Like, when he'd shop, he'd buy me clothes like he would wear. And when I began to like not want to do that, I didn't really know what to do, so I kind of just put whatever on. So like now I'm in a place of like really looking into like what I like to wear.
Yeah,
what looks good on me, what doesn't. Like, that's where I am now, like, and going forward.
Yeah.
And also, like, I got more money, so I'm buying the stuff I need.
Okay.
Right.
What did Nene Leak say? When you got the coin, they do.
When you got the coins, they do. They make it in your size.
They make it in your size.
Right. Definitely. They'll fit it for you. They'll
okay.
Yeah, they definitely will.
And Nick, I resonate with what you're saying as far as like being like, when you talk about like being a bigger body person and like being comfortable in what you're wearing and showing skin and things like that. Like, that was an issue for me. Like, I don't know. I never really paid attention to my legs until everybody started giving me compliments like on my legs. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm wearing shorts every day. I'm wearing shorts all the time. I will wear shorts all the time. It'd be butt fucking cold outside. I'm gonna wear shorts only because I really just don't like clothes that much. But when I dress up, I like to dress up. But like, being a bigger body guy, like, it's always been harder for me to find clothes in certain areas. And then I just started seeing like bigger body men in fashion on like the hashtags on Instagram and on social media. And I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers can dress. Like, let me step my cookies up. And then like, I got into like boho. Shout out to boho. I think I'm saying it right. Boho man, boohoo, boho, boohoo. Boo, I don't give a damn. I just know that they got some clothes that fit me good.
We've really been pronouncing stuff differently the past couple of episodes.
Yeah.
You'll say one thing, I'll say another thing, and it's like...
Yeah. But guess what? They know what we talking about.
I like boohoo. I like boohoo clothes. Oh yeah, check them out. They're based in the UK.
The only thing with that is I usually have to buy... I'm not a 3X, which if I was a 3X, I would live in it and just love it. But I'm not a 3X, but I find that I have to buy 3X clothing so that it could fit me. And then sometimes that doesn't fit me. So like, I'm like, it's European cut. And like, I just feel like, how y'all gonna have that for, like, you could still have that for bigger body people because it could fit slim, but in some of the dimensions that they have on the clothing, I don't really like on some things. And then certain other things like I like sometimes I might have to get bigger, like if I'm ordering a set, I have to order like a 3X, right? But I'm not a 3X in like my shirts. But like my bottom, I got thighs, I got hips, I got a little, you know what I mean? So sometimes, but they don't have the option where you could buy so I need an extra large shirt and I need a pants to match with it, but the pants they don't do that. It's just a set. And I'm like, so that's the only issue. ASOS will let you do that?
ASOS will let you do that. Mm-hmm. ASOS will let you do that.
Okay. I like ASOS.
Yeah, ASOS, you just
got to listen.
Yeah, I definitely. Well, when I went to Mexico, most of that stuff came from ASOS. Okay. And I don't know who the fuck I thought I was spending $200 some on ASOS, and I was paying it off to November.
Oh yeah, I didn't spend much. I had a purchase that was like 250.
So
period.
yeah, like
258 purchase, and it was like I ain't pay that off in one. I could have. Don't get me wrong. Now the money was in the bank.
The money was in the bank, but you don't want to. You don't want to do that. Like you don't want to always do. Sidebar: you ever see how they've been dragging Afterpay and Klarna on social media today? Because
I seen people supporting it. I ain't seen nobody drag it.
So I'm a Twitter girl. I say this a lot on the podcast.
Sure is.
I really spend I spend a lot of my time on Twitter. Like that's just what I do. Because Twitter funny as fuck.
Nah, it is. Roller coaster.
Yes. And so basically, they have flights now where like you can do them on Afterpay and Klarna. Mm-hmm. So apparently like that kind of, some guy went viral for saying that now last night. And then, you know how you have some people on Twitter where it's like, oh, they don't need to do that, whatever the case may be.
But why not?
Well, most of them don't even have real bank accounts anyways. That's why they can't use.
Let's be clear.
Klarna.
If you ain't got the money, just say that.
Afterpay and Klarna don't allow you to link Cash App bank accounts to them. You gotta have a real bank account to do that. So they don't do that. You gotta have a real bank account or a credit card.
So all you scammers out there, count your fucking days.
Yeah, you can't use Cash App and you can't use Chime.
Chime, bitch, chime. They love a chime, bitch.
They love a chime.
But let me chime in and let you know.
Chime in. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Not today.
So long story short, I saw a few tweets of that, and I was just like, y'all the fuck bugging, because I saw someone tweet, they said I would Afterpay my rent if I could. And I never felt something strongly about that so much in my life, although I don't,
Man, listen, like I'm all like everything I got in this pretty little studio here, like
love it,
installment based. Like I'm all, because it's like even if like I'm not rich, money or no money, I'm not rich. I'm blessed, but I'm not rich. You feel me? So
right. Okay. That's a good distinction.
If I can find a way to defer dropping $1,000 in a day versus paying $100 today and then another $100 every month, of course I'm gonna do that. If it's possible, it's not. It's not gonna hurt me, and I'm good with my payments. I know sometimes people aren't, but I try to be on time with my payments and on top of that.
Same.
I'm cool with anything that's like Afterpay, pay later.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that
because once you mess up with them like a few times, like they probably ain't gonna let you do that shit no more.
Right. And isn't it credit based?
Yes, that's another thing too. Not everybody qualifies for Afterpay and Klarna either. Right. I know that because I had to fix my credit first before I could qualify.
Oh, see, I didn't. Okay, so the crazy thing is, like, I'm in the midst of fixing my credit. So, and I'm learning. So once I get it down packed, just know. And I start fixing credit, just know that, okay? Yeah. But
are you gonna put credit repair specialist in your bio?
Sure am. Give me the money.
No, we have sending letters and charging motherfuckers $199.99 to fucking send letters off to the fucking debt collectors. I can't.
Give me all your money, so I'll just send these fucking letters off.
Fucking letters off.
No, but like, yo, Chancey, aggravating. So I knew it because it was like, I was like, I think this is like credit-based stuff. But I've been good with my payments. I haven't worried about it. So like my increase has been going up. So I looked at it today and I was like, oh, I could spend this. I said, oh shit. But I typically don't spend all of it. Yes. It starts small.
I could spend like 2 stacks on Afterpay right now. And it's like, I would never, and I'm like, I would never even spend that much because I don't want to, that's way too much.
Right.
Too much.
I think it's good because it's like, I often think like in this time right now, like I'm like trying to invest in myself and when I say invest in myself, investing like, things that go towards my business, things that can go towards like helping me with my credit or just different things. And so like if I have to pay that shit, it's still an investment to me. I don't have I'm not saying like, again, like I'm not rich, just like what you were saying, Nicholas, like not rich, just blessed. So you're able to do different things. And so that's one of the things I can do. I know I could pay, either I could pay it all in one or I could do in 4 installments. I'm going to do in 4 installments because that's just what I want to do. But I just feel like even if you have to invest in yourself that way for whatever it is, like do it. Like you just said, like Nick, most of the stuff in your, the way that you set your studio up, a lot of it is like, installment stuff. And that's great. Like, and look, you got a ton of it and you're able to do things with what you have. Right. So people feel like if you can't buy it off right then and there, you ain't got the money. All right, cool. I may not have the money right here, but that's why they have set a system up so that we could. And I know like some people are like, oh, that's just another way they're trying to get your money. That's another way to this. That's another way to get that. If you're trying to, blah, 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 whatever works for you, works for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, investing in yourself for me is like, it's not about the money itself. It's about what are you getting from me? Because just spending money on things is not investing in yourself. When I got these speakers, when I got the laptop, when I got the mics, like I'm getting the items because I know the items are going to be useful to me and they cost money. We live in America, we live in the world, we live in capitalism.
Yeah. Yes.
Everything's going to cost money until we throw that idea out. So it's not going to happen tomorrow.
And you know what's killing me? You bitches act like y'all mamas and y'all daddies wasn't putting stuff on layaway at Kmart when look, come on, let's not forget about layaway.
Okay.
Right.
Well, you used to be real excited when you finally got it off layaway years ago.
Christmas time, them presents was probably all.
Yes, they was all
layaway.
Put stuff on layaway at Kmart.
Yeah, definitely.
Not to put business out there.
Listen, it happened, and it's okay. You got what she got, what she needed, layaway. And it's okay. I'll stay in layaway too until I can get to the point of where I could buy that here, and it's not hurting my pockets. I could do that.
But with Afterpay and Klarna, it's like it's not layaway no more because it's like they give you that shit when you had layaway back in the day, bitch. You couldn't get that shit You couldn't get that shit until you paid for it. That's why I could never shit on Klarna or Afterpay because it's like, bitch, I'll make a payment of like $50 today and I had that shit like the next day or like
that's progression. Yeah,
and
I think like it just boils down to how financially responsible a person is because you don't want to max out your limit. Feel me? Like because you do that like and then you can't. It's like you still have to be responsible and know like I can't afford to pay for this installment per month, depending on what it is.
Right.
You got all these other things. You got your subscriptions, your bills, your rent, your car note, your insurance, whatever.
Right.
Everybody got different stuff.
Right.
Loans, like don't go using Afterpay as like another thing that's gonna put you in debt and like send you down into a hole.
Yeah.
Right.
But I still see it as a good thing.
Yeah. And I'm not paying my student loans back.
When you knock out, they go out. So
oh my God, Chancey, you be like bitch.
I'm not paying them back. And listen, and I feel because like, and that's why I be trying not to Afterpay a lot of stuff too, because I am the subscription provider. I provide Netflix, Hulu, Tidal,
man.
Disney Plus.
Okay.
I am not.
Amazon Prime.
I take it from others. What you got? You got this?
Like so I
try to trade. Like if I got Netflix, you got
trading. Yeah, definitely.
No.
One stop shop.
Yes.
Now I will say I have a Hulu and Disney Plus bundle. So
I got the same joint.
Yeah. Beautiful. But all the other, and I was just talking to Miriam about this other day, Charles, because she was like, what should we do about Paramount Plus? I'm like, well, I don't know. Because at this point, like,
they have a Paramount Plus?
Yeah, they have Paramount Plus now. Yeah, they have Paramount Plus. And I was looking into it, but I don't know. I'm subscriptioned out. So that's why I be trying not to Afterpay that much stuff because
the only subscription I have right now is Amazon Prime, and I'm keeping that shit.
Yeah, it's worth
it. I have Hulu, but I don't like technically it's through my phone carrier service. So shout out to Sprint for that. You did something fucking good.
Because they tried.
So you definitely are. So like I have Hulu, Netflix, that's not mine. I had a Disney Plus, but my partner had a Disney Plus, which I use. So gonna use that. A Showtime. My best friends have HBO Max, bring that on over here. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I have given my Hulu out. Like, I'm like, oh, here goes my Hulu, but that's all I could. Oh, I have a Prime too. This is what I have. You want to use it, but that's all I can provide for y'all because I don't got nothing else. Like, I just feel like I'm trying to be responsible with that. I even downloaded an app that shows me like what bills, like, and categorize them. Like, this is what's coming out your account. This is what's reoccurring. I'm like, I didn't even know I had Audible. I had it. I thought I had like you do the subscription.
You gotta be careful with Amazon because they will sign your ass up for a subscription in no time. I said play something on Amazon. You know my TV in the living room, Charles.
Yes.
And so when I don't know what, but you know how my TV is. So I said to my Alexa, I'm like, play something on Amazon Music. Bitch, don't you know they signed me up for a 30-day subscription? I said, bitch, that was an accident. I meant to say Apple Music, number one. Number two, I canceled that shit right then and there. I'm not paying y'all no more fucking money.
Right. Wow, that's funny as hell.
Yes. They signed me up.
Crazy.
They signed me up for a fucking Amazon Music subscription. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I have Apple Music and I have Apple Music and I have Tidal, but I pay the student rate because of my EDU email.
I was just telling somebody that yesterday, like, oh, Labria, she like, you got an Amazon Prime, bitch? I said, bitch, how you think I'll be getting all the packages into your house? Exactly. Oh, bitch, send it over. I'm like, yeah. I was like, if you have an EDU email, you could use that shit. And she does. She just doesn't use it. But whatever. Yeah, the bitch can have it because, listen, I'm all for swapping it out. It's nothing. Yeah.
I still got my Apple Music on my college email.
Yeah.
I don't know, whenever they decide to, like, take that from me, whatever.
Yeah.
My Amazon Prime through that. I never got to hook it up to my Spotify, so I pay full for that, but it's whatever.
Yeah. The trick is I guess for Chancey and myself too, is because we work at these institutions. So if that shit doesn't work for that school, listen, yeah, EDU, yeah, I'm plugging it the fuck up in there and letting you know, like, yeah, student down.
Apple Music needed to renew my my eligibility the other day. I said, no problem.
Nope. Not an issue. You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
Just started a new job at a new college. No worries.
Okay, period.
I got a new EDU for you. Don't
okay, yes, I do. So, yeah. You said something earlier about like being responsible, Nick, and my question to all of us would be, what makes a responsible person? And since we all, identify as men, what makes a responsible man?
I mean, like a short answer is just being on top of like your shit, your personal stuff, knowing where your strengths and your weaknesses are, so that like when it comes down to like people depending on you, especially like when whatever your role is in your circle or within your family or community unit, knowing that somebody can depend on you for whatever it is that you provide in their life. I don't know if you guys have anything to add. I'm still kind of thinking of everything.
Yeah. I think like what you said, like being on top of your shit, like definitely being on top of your shit, right? And that could mean a lot for different people, like making sure that you are financially stable, making sure that you are taking care of yourself physically, emotionally. I think just when you think about responsibility, people just go straight to monetary, but I think that just being like, again, being mentally responsible, socially responsible, and physically responsible with your finances, if you're dating or if you have a family or if you're just by yourself and you're single, just making sure you're taking care of your bills, making sure that, you have enough money to do whatever it is that you want. I think that, the way that I look at responsibility for myself now is by holding myself to a high standard when it comes to navigating in the world. Like, I'm a responsible person because I have these different connections with people, rely on me. People can feel like if something happens, they can come to me and talk to me and things like that. So like, I think of like responsibility in all aspects outside of like financial responsibility. So that's my take on it. Yeah. What about you, Chancey?
I would agree. Yeah, I mean, is that I think you hit the nail on the head when you're like, it's people you typically think about financial responsibility more when they hear the word responsibility. But yeah, I mean, mainly me is just like making like y'all said, making sure that you get stuff done and just being on top of stuff. Whatever is important to you anyway. Like,
yeah,
I feel like that. Yeah.
For me, like especially like being like a freelance person, like making sure like when clients or people reach out to me that I try to be, as open and available, within reason, within my own schedule. When I'm doing gigs, I try to be on time, try to be like prepared. Again, being on top of your shit. Like that's kind of like the blanket statement. Like because definitely as a man, sometimes we're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. Like when you mess up, people just look at you like, yo, what's good with you? Like, get it together. So you kind of just always have to be on top of your stuff, making sure that you're present, available.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting that you said that. So do you feel like sometimes you're not getting as much as grace as other people would?
Depending.
Yeah, like
depending on like there's a maybe that's just like the way I grew up because my
as a black man.
I don't think it's just as a black man. I think just like you have an expectation to be
okay.
I can't find the words. When they come, I'll give it like a better.
No, but we know where you're going with it.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, because I don't know. Because when you said that, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like sometimes there are certain groups of people who are not given the same grace as other people are.
Absolutely.
So that's what made me ask you that question to begin with, because it's like I feel like some people aren't given that same grace, and I feel like sometimes men aren't like given the same amount of grace. Right. And men from different communities aren't given, i.e. black men. I don't feel like they're always given a certain amount of grace as other men are and other other groups.
I think it really boils down to like exactly what you're talking about, because also like you could say sometimes, women don't get certain graces. Like it just,
and they don't.
And then the scale tips on them. But it's just like, I think as far as like when you're kind of, there's certain spaces where we're seen as like the leader, the focal point, the person to look to, and we can't do that. I don't think we get a lot of space to like mess up sometimes or not fit into that kind of strong space.
Yeah, that mold.
You're a man. You're supposed to be a man. If you're not able to do this, then you're not a man. And it's like, wait a minute, no. Like, I have emotions. I have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm going to break down. Am I allowed to break down? Am I allowed to be emotional? Am I allowed to have a mental breakdown in the middle of work or in the middle in the middle of a space? Or if I have a mental breakdown, is it like, well, what's wrong with him? Why is he so emotional?
Right. No, definitely. I agree. Yeah.
Makes sense. I like that. So, as far as the, giving grace to certain people when it comes to different things, like one, right? Men, we don't get good grace when it comes, or a period of being able to have that openness when it comes to our emotions. And like when we like, all right, like right now, I X, Y, and Z going on. Like you said, like, being able to just break down and like have those days like if you're at work, right? And you just want to break down or whatever, like we are looked upon to be the strong ones. Like, right, we are looked at to be those who are assertive and, emotions. We ain't showing emotions. Like, I remember, like, as a kid, like, if I fell down and I got up, if I fell down, somebody would be like, all right, get up, stop all that crying. Like, you crying like a little girl. Like, what? Come on. Now you have men who feel like they cannot break down. They feel like they can't say, hey, like right now, I know I'm trying to be responsible and I don't have X, Y, and Z. So, I feel like with men, when it comes to that, like, there's not enough grace to be able to break down. But I also feel like to go further or to be more specific, Black men, a lot of us don't show our emotions. And when we do, we are counted as like, you handling situations like a girl. You handling situations like with emotions. And it's like, first off, stop equating emotions to being girly, or stop equating that only women are only women navigate the world with emotions. Like, we all are beings. Like, so at the end of the day, I feel that, we need to be able to have that and do those different things. So I do agree with some people not getting the grace, but just like you said earlier, like it depends on what it is. Cause like even with women, like they don't get grace, especially Black women, right? Like we know that, like that's a huge issue. But I don't know. I just feel like it's just certain things that we really just don't get the grace that we should.
I think it's largely, it's definitely largely on the responsibility on other men to give men the grace, because we're usually the ones around each other in those.
Yeah.
It's like, not only do you want grace, but you also have to be willing to give your fellow brother, give them the grace to be vulnerable if they need that space. Again, depending, because we could dive into different sections of the topic. Like it goes so many different ways.
Well, I mean, that's interesting that you said that. That you feel like it's up to men to kind of extend that grace to other men. Because it just made me think, like, I don't feel like there's always that sense of community sometimes around for that. And so I guess I feel like and I feel like it is up to other men to extend that grace. But if there's already like that lack of community or that lack of like just unity, if there's like a divide sometimes, then I don't really know how much room there is for that. So that kind of makes me think, like, I don't know, like, I think about that all the time, like why there can sometimes be like a lack of division sometimes amongst Black, like and when I say that, I'm specifically talking about Black men.
Right.
Because I feel like sometimes there's always like not always, but like depending on where you are, where you're from, like you may not necessarily have like the strongest tribe, or like people may not always be 100% supportive of you, or there might be like that lack of division, because it's always kind of like, okay, well, like you got to look out for yourself, because a lot of us were kind of raised with that mentality sometimes. Like a lot of us weren't necessarily raised with the, like, we all look out for each other. It's kind of like, you need to do this, you need to do that to make sure you're successful. So I kind of want to like just get y'all thoughts about that. Cause like sometimes I think about that and it's just like I know me personally, like I wasn't raised around a whole bunch of Black men, or just a whole bunch of men in general. I grew up in a house with all women. And so my like I'm very protective over women, but we can get into that later, of the women in my life.
Right.
But it's just like, okay, like I didn't really grow up like around like a group of men. So I guess my question to y'all is like, we say it's up to us to extend grace to other guys, but it's like, do we even know what like a healthy community looks like? Like, do we feel like sometimes that there could be division?
Personally, I think like I'm still figuring that out, because I didn't really get that from the older men in my life. Like,
right.
They were supportive, right?
Right.
Supportive, but emotionally, not 100%. My father was definitely a supportive father for sure, but there's definitely a gap in like how the emotional support goes between us. And there's still some things where it's almost like I'm a kid again, like when I'm talking to him, because I'm not sure how to approach it, because we haven't crossed that road in like the way that we talk to each other. So it's definitely, I think if anything, this is me being like really optimistic, but I think we're like at a learning curve of like tipping the scale over from like not doing it to like more groups of men actually doing it.
Yeah.
Definitely it's still something that we just have to do. And sometimes it's something I like, because I'm so used to just, again, being for myself and to myself, I forget to like, I'm like, man, I should have, if something happens, like, man, I probably should have approached that differently. Or I probably should have extended a little more grace, like we said, like, or extended a little, like been a little more open. But it's all about the awareness, and being willing to like actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I first and foremost, thank you for sharing that, because that resonates with me and seemingly a lot of what you're saying resonates with me. But so for me, with these different identities, a Black little boy, I have a lot of male figures in my life. And I don't know if I would say male figures, no shade to them, but like, as far as male figures, like physicality, like I had them in my life.
Right.
But I was way too scared to interact with them in a certain way because of how they interacted with the world and the people around them, especially women. I never wanted to go to them and be like, all right, because no, I didn't feel comfortable because they never gave me the platform to feel comfortable like that. And on top of that, like, I knew I was queer. I was trying to be more masculine around them and trying to do different things and be this person. And I just felt like growing up, I didn't have that camaraderie, right? Obviously, I was younger, so it wouldn't be like, it's a hierarchy with that. But like, I still didn't have that, even with like peers who looked like me, like, you know, other Black boys who looked like me. They were together, you know what I mean? They ain't say, come together. Sometimes it was like that. Like, for the most part, it was like that. You know, I mean, sometimes it was like that, but for the most part, I was just to the side. But I never really had like Black men to be like community. And the Black men who were like that were queer. Like, they were like they were making programs. I remember in the third grade, I was in a program, but I wasn't supposed to be in it because it was only for fifth graders and up. But because I had behavioral, air quotes, like, you know, challenges back then, he was like, nah, like, I'm going to take you because everybody is going, I see what they're going to do to you. And let me just put you in this group. And so like, that was the first time ever for me. I was like, okay, like it was other Black, you know, and brown boys around me. And then I had this man who was like a mentor and like queer, and everybody loved him. But all the other like Black men who were straight, they didn't have the time for it. They ain't do that. So I feel like it truly sucks because I don't feel like we have it, and I feel like we're learning. I feel like we're trying to get there, but it ain't always there, and we got long ways to go, long ways to go. So I definitely feel like there's a disconnect, especially with Black men who share different identities, Black and religious, whether it be you're Muslim or you practice Buddhism or you are Christian or Jewish. Whatever, or Jewish, that's a thing. Or if you're a Black man who is queer, and you know what I mean, or you know, you're a Black man who really likes games and people deem you as this weird person. It's just different identities, and I just feel like
the weird Black
not everybody comes together to be like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Like, you my skin folk, you know what I mean? So I've really learned this year that all skin folk ain't kin folk. So that's how I feel a lot of times with other Black men. Outside of the identities that I just talked about, I just feel like it's not a camaraderie type of atmosphere. And I wish we would get there.
I think you hit the nail on the head when it comes to identities and stuff like that. But I also kind of feel like we are really starting to like see how fragile masculinity is, and like what everyone's idea of it is, and like the fact that like some people consider things feminine, or some people consider things, you know, not feminine, or, you know, the fact of the matter is like everybody growing up kind of had like this idea in their head of like what it meant to be masculine or to be a man, and all these different responsibilities and everything like that, which was kind of like a good starting, you know, point for that. But I feel where you're coming from, Charles. I do, but like I don't know, like it's just like, to me, it's like I feel like sometimes the way we know things, like the way we just like we learned things growing up, like it kind of holds us back at a moment in time, because like we have like this perceived like just like a pain of like what we feel like things are supposed to be.
Right.
And if we don't see men who we feel like we can immediately relate to, a barrier sometimes goes up.
Yep. That's it.
Like sometimes it goes up because we don't immediately see that we have something in common with them.
It's like a small defense mechanism, and it's unintentional too. It's just like you don't want to. It's not that you're afraid to like approach them or like connect with them, but you're just like, I don't want to. What's the word? You're just afraid to make the connection because you don't know if it's even going to work, and it's just like, well, I could just not deal with it and just be here.
Yeah. But also, I feel like I agree with that, but I also feel like for some people, it's intentional. Like they are intentionally like, I ain't fucking with that type of person. I ain't fucking with that type of black man. Yeah. Like sometimes it's to the point where, damn, I don't even see you as black because of this other identity that I clearly can see on you or that I'm assuming on you, right? Like I feel like that too, but I feel like you like we have people who are like that. Like it's unintentional. It's just, I'm just used to X, Y, and Z. But when people start opening up, they're like, okay, well, I can see that the only thing that makes us different is these other things that we like that I've probably never been exposed to. Like somebody could like something and I was like, I ain't. Like when people start talking about anime, like I was like, anime, like, what's that? And black people start talking about it. I'm like, oh, this would be all right, cool. Like it was different for me, but like I would have never like really watched it had like other people not introduced it to me, and not because I intentionally was like not watching it, because it just I didn't relate to nothing. But once I saw that it related to other people who look like me, I'm like, all right, let me get into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
We got to come like more into the understanding that we're all gonna be different, and like, but there's also like a common, like we're black, we're black men, we're black women, we're black, we're queer, we're black, we're trans. Like there's a commonality in who we are, especially in America, you know, and all the problems that we got to deal with, the millions of things that hit us on every end and hit us based on who we are. You know, black men have certain things that happen to us that only we see. Black women have certain things that happen to them that only they can see and fully understand. Anyone who's black and queer or black and trans has things that happens to them that black men and black women will never see because the black men and black women that aren't, that are cisgender and don't subscribe to those identities. Won't see. And it's just like, I can't cancel out the things that you experience that I've never seen, because that's just being an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, or for lack of a better word.
Yeah. I think the issue is when people, the issue with that is, so first and foremost, the commonality that we have is that we're human, period. And I think that people need to understand that first and foremost.
Yeah.
They dehumanize a lot of people who have other identities, which it sucks because for so long we have been oppressed and still are. And we know what it feels like, but yet we still do that to other people within our community. And it's the same old song that people talk about, and it is so tired of it, but we just need to change the tune of it, right? Turn it up or turn it down or change, like we need to do something about it, but the song ain't gonna change it till we fix it. So, okay. I think the issue is that people only see a one-sided identity when they assume you are someone. So they disassociate yourself, or just like I said earlier, disassociate it. And like, oh yeah, I don't really identify with all that. And that's all I see on you. But like, it's like, I got the same color skin, or I have variation. I have melanin in my skin. I have a different variation of skin tone, but I'm black just like you. So, okay, you are, but you also are this. Yeah, and I think another issue is when people just say, okay, you black first. Yeah, but y'all don't treat me like I'm black first. Y'all don't treat me like that. You don't treat me like that.
Yeah, that be pissing me off because it's like, I know that. Yeah. I know that I'm black first.
My fault.
No, you're good.
It's like they want you to suppress your other identities to be black. It's like, no, like I'm black, but I'm also these other things. Whatever. Yeah. Across the board. Like I'm not gonna deny myself for loyalty to blackness if that means me losing myself or me not being my full self. What's the point? It's not really it's not really liberating if I can't be black and myself. If that's what we're going for.
Yeah, like we shouldn't have to choose.
Right.
But I mean, I kind of feel like, going back to the earlier point, like I feel like because everyone's perception of, like masculine, not everyone, I say everyone, I mean black men, because some black men's perception is like, you know, they have an idea of like what men are supposed to be like, how they're supposed to present themselves and stuff like that. Like, you know, and because people throw around toxic masculinity so much, when it's like, you know, well, like, and I know some people have their feelings around that word. Like, okay, some people feel like it's made up. Some people feel like, you know, it's not a real thing. Other people feel like, okay, like it is a real thing.
But what is it? But what does it mean? Like, what do you feel like it means?
Right. And I mean, I know for me, I mean, I know we talked about heteronormatives at one point. Mm-hmm. I know, like, basically, like, you know, we realized and identified the fact that, like, the world that we're living in is pretty heteronormative for the most part, like, or has been for some time. And now those norms are starting to be broken and, like, you know, like just different things. But I feel like a lot of it comes back to that. Like, a lot of it comes back to how they feel like men are supposed to act. And I mean, I know going back to like that whole like unity and like feeling comfortable amongst like other people who look like you on that barrier and stuff. Like, I know personally, like, that's why sometimes, like, I know Charles and I had this conversation, like, sometimes people like us, like black men like us, like maybe the barbershop isn't like our favorite place to go because like, you know, it's like you're in a place where you can't authentically be yourself. Like, you have to kind of be someone that you're not.
Right. I saw a video about that the other day. I'm sorry.
You were telling me about it.
Yeah, I saw a video about that, and the guy who was queer, he was queer and black, and he was in the chair, and him and the barber were having banter. They were talking about some real stuff that happens in a barbershop that resonate. You know, I talk about that like a lot, but I don't talk in depth about it. I told you stories that I had conversations with my barber who is black, and I haven't had a black barber since I was like, undergrad, but also before that, elementary. I mean, so that's another topic, another thing that that I feel is not, I don't want to say not really talked about, but the experience of a queer black man in the barbershop is much different of a black man who is cis and straight or cishet, right? And because the conversations that go on are conversations that we don't relate to, or conversations that are against who we are. And sometimes you have to, not sometimes, but you do have to sit in that because you're getting your fucking hair cut. Like, you can't just get up and be like, all right, now fuck this, I'm gonna go down the street in the mid-cut. Like, the nigga just cut your shit off. So now you got to sit there and listen to this. Right. And either come out, because coming out is not just a one-time thing, it's a daily thing for some people, for most of us. So come out and be like, actually, I'm gay, I'm queer, or however I identify, and I don't subscribe to like what y'all talk about. Now I got to be this whole thing where everybody is like 10, 15 people in there that subscribe to what this barber subscribes to, and then it's like you by yourself. Now you got to defend yourself. So it's just like, am I going to say something, or I'm just going to shut my fucking mouth and get my hair cut and go about my business and pick someone else to cut my hair? You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too. Yeah. So. And I'm sorry, Nick, I cut you off. We're both trying to say something, and I'm not sure if you still have that thought of what you were going to say.
I don't remember trying to say something.
I'm sorry. As you know, because you edit our stuff. Me and Chancey be doing that all the time. Be like,
all the fucking time.
He'd be like, go. I'd be like, just go.
Like,
now you just go,
bitch. Like, just go.
That is funny.
So, I have a question for you, Nick.
Okay.
We talking a lot of bit about like just different ideas of masculinity and stuff like that. How do you? Well, first things first. I don't want to put certain pressures on you, but I mean, I feel like you advocate for a lot of different people to a certain extent, you know, and so I guess my question for you is like, how do you kind of navigate like advocating for like groups of people who you don't necessarily identify with all the time? And like, do you feel like people have ever felt like that has conflicted with your idea of masculinity, or like?
Man, I mean,
no.
Like, based on how I've grown up, I'll say like, I'm still learning. Like, I've had to reshape the ideas that I was raised on, because it don't fully make sense. Like, the ideas of like a man is supposed to be a man a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm still reshaping that, but I don't think it's affected the way people have perceived me because I'm still me. You know, you don't have to, me advocating for someone who's black man who's gay or a black man who's trans or anything like that, it doesn't change who I am. I think that's the biggest thing.
Right.
One of the things that kind of helped that is just being around more black queer and black gay, black gay community, because I play for a queer artist. Her name is Sonic. So I've been around.
Yeah.
I'm around. I'm a face. I'm seen. Nobody has ever. My identity has never changed, even though those are the spaces I'm in. Like, Nick is in these spaces. He has to be, or not to my face. You know, nobody said it to my face. Maybe they say it on the side, but you know, and personally, I don't feel my identity is changed. Like I'm me. You know, you can only be yourself, and I enjoy those spaces. You know, and again, it's people. We're people. We're human. I shouldn't have to create a separation for the people I'm spending my time with. They're people. They're all like I enjoy. You know,
right. I feel that the reason why that is, Nick, is because you have respect for humanity, right? You have respect for it. You know what I mean? So when you navigate that way, you have respect for everybody because you just are just that person. That's how you're going to navigate. And then some people take that and be like, why you ain't flipping out? Why you around all these gay people? Or why you around all these, and not to say that we're just talking about like that underrepresented group of people, but just because it's easy to use that as an example. Why you not freaking out? Why you so comfortable? You must be. Nah, actually, I'm comfortable with who I am. I don't have to show out. I don't have to. First off, it's like people like that stick out like sore thumbs. Why are you doing all that? You just showing me what you really are. Calm down. Like it's not that deep. So I think that
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Boom.
I'm back. What was my last thought? What was the last thing I said? I think I said something about
you talk about you said like respecting humanity and then kind of whatever.
I think the last thing I was gonna say is that's just how I see it. And so
okay. If you wanna
you
wanna flip the phone, and maybe like sit it down somewhere. That way it doesn't look too crazy. Does anyone else hear an echo or is that just me?
I don't hear one.
Okay, maybe I'm just bugging.
No, I don't hear echo.
Okay, bitch, it could just be me.
Or even, like I guess. Well, actually, no. Keep going because I want us to pick up from like the actual point.
Yeah,
we're like in like a little limbo right now.
Yeah. So, so I forgot what I was saying. Basically,
back up from the camera a little bit.
How about that? Is that good?
That's good. Because when you're on your phone, objects are closer than what they appear.
They are, and I had my phone like I didn't. Yeah, the way I had my phone was opposite, but okay, we good as long as you can see me. I'm good.
No, you're good. This is perfect.
All right. So, to leave off what I was saying. So I think that is, my idea of how I see, just being and having respect for other people. Like at the end of the day, like, again, like I said earlier, like having like the respect for humanity is just a great way to just understand that all people are different. Like everybody's different. But when people who, look like you and stuff like that, and probably, if there's representation there, I think that we should not be like, okay, let me sift out all the other things about you. Like, nah, like let's band together. Like we have so many things that are against us. Why must we do that? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's a lot, and I ain't for it, pretty much. So
yeah, I feel that. one of the last questions around this before we ask some other questions, Charles. I know you said you wanted to ask other questions, so I'm gonna give you the license to let me stop.
I don't think I have the license.
Remember the other ones we talked about?
Okay.
Yeah. Do y'all feel responsible for protecting Black women?
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
I mean, I assumed y'all was going to say yes. I didn't really think that was like a hard one, but I mean, every so often you run into those coons.
The coons.
A coon is a coon is a coon is a coon.
Period.
I've said it once. I said it again. I believe that. Like,
it is what it is.
Dr. Umar say super coon or whatever he said. Something like that.
Yes. And sometimes I hate to say this. Sometimes I do resonate with him. I hate that I do. Sidebar.
The thing is, he don't be missing the points. It's just delivery and his overall scope.
Yes.
Like, it's not. He says things that make sense.
Yes.
You can't say that everything he says is wrong, because that's just
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If you're saying that, you're not really listening. You're probably just reading somebody's.
Yes.
I don't think everything he says is wrong, but I think that some things he could be a little bit more educated on, because he's just going off by what he think.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's kind of like those type of people who be like analyzing stuff and be analyzing it all wrong. I think that, but I do feel like, some of the things that he, say could be, okay, I get it. But
well, he's a hotep, so their perception is skewed already.
Right.
But also, as we learned in some
I don't do hoteps. I don't do hoteps.
At all. As I have learned with that hotep movement type of thing, the way in which that we see it is not what it's supposed to be like. However,
them new age hoteps actually really fucking up for everybody.
You said them who?
The new age hoteps are really fucking up for everybody.
Yeah, because they are the ones that are like, gay agenda, this and that and the third. Women need to do this. Women need to. Well, it's like, shut the fuck up. Because you're talking about something, you're talking about things that are not going to change by a long shot. Like, you want people to stop being queer. It's not going to fucking happen.
Right.
It's never not happening. That's the main thing.
Come on, exactly.
Like, granted, like, we're in an age where everything is exposed, right? Completely. And everybody's more open and educated and expressing themselves. It's they're like, these things are not new. And like, when you say gay agenda, it's like, for me, when I hear it, it's like, man, you're treating it like it just started yesterday. Like, like, no, like, it's been around and they've been around you. Whether you knew it or whether you didn't, it's been in your face. So it's not a thing that they're using to control anybody or shift anything. Like, people are gay, people are straight.
Yeah.
So, we move on from it.
Yeah,
right.
But you know what? He might have a point about the gay agenda. He might.
What do you mean?
He might. And I found it.
Where is it? Go to hell. It's so annoying.
I have it. I've been in possession in it for quite some time. So I invite, all of you come here. If you would like possession of it, you want it, you want to see what it entails. Yeah, you see, it's so right here. You can't miss it. It's right there. You can't miss it.
It's right there.
You can't miss it. Y'all right. We are wrong. It's been here the whole entire time.
Period. And it's
Chancey been the chairperson of the gay.
I've had it the whole entire time.
Yes.
I've had it the whole entire time. It's been sitting right here.
It's that little part of
right
you do where you pull off the
hood.
It's like, oh, it's
me.
It's been Chancey the whole time.
It's me.
It's been Chancey the whole time.
The whole time. But no, I mean, no. His delivery is sometimes wild, but why I brought him up, I'm gonna loop him in. When him and that Kevin Samuels, is that his name? Yeah. When him and Kevin Samuels immediately started to go back and forth, Dr. Umar made a point that I really resonated with, and he was saying, one of the reasons why he don't fuck with Kevin Samuels is because he gets a kick out of degrading Black women. Yeah. And one thing I've never seen Dr. Umar really do, and I could be wrong, is degrade Black women. And And you know, because I actually follow like a parody page of him on Twitter. So like,
I know the one.
You know what? You know the one.
I'm there, man. I'm there.
Okay, you know that one funny as hell.
Bro,
I gotta see that.
I got so many memes from that. Like,
yes,
I got a whole folder just dedicated to those memes.
That's a solid Twitter page.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send that shit to you, Charles. But
that's the only way I really interact with him, because I don't follow his actual page, but I do follow that page. And
yeah,
I like because that page seems to just post anything about him, like good and bad or funny, like real. Like you get to see like the times where he's just going off the tip, and then the times really hitting some things on that.
Really hitting some things, yeah. He's from Philly, so I'm waiting to run into him.
You got to show him that.
I have to show him the gay agenda, though. I have to show him that.
Card.
I have to show him that.
I had it
the whole time. But he made a video about why he didn't really fuck with Kevin Samuels, because he degrades Black women. And that was one thing that I really, really admired him for. Although I always admire him for his delivery and stuff like that, I'm in a sense of like, as men, when we talk about masculinity and stuff like that in general, and I think we, kind of talked about responsibilities that we sometimes feel. And maybe as a Black man, like I always feel like, like looking out for Black women is like key. Like it's so important.
It is. I feel like it is our responsibility, right? Because I hate this, but when you look at like Black men, you look at the hierarchy of like Black men, Black women, and just white men, white women. Like Black men, I guess, are supposed to be like the gatekeepers of the community, the Black community. Mm-hmm. And so if you're not protecting, you get what I'm saying, you're not protecting the women,
even though they're not the gatekeepers, they're not really.
Yeah.
Black women are, but
period.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna say we're not, because I'm a Black man too.
Right.
We're not. Right? But
the perception,
society,
the perception is that because of how the world overall views anything. Once you're a man, they see you as you first.
Yes.
Everybody behind you, women, and everybody. So it's like the perception is that the Black man is that.
Yeah, definitely. And I just feel that Black men need to stop hurting women physically, emotionally, mentally, and wearing that shit as a badge of honor and navigating the world. Because to me, that's really sus.
That's now, toxic masculinity.
I'm going to start calling you out your name, man. I'm
going to start saying masculinity.
Because you are performing an action that degrades another person who has so much substantial like importance in, I'm just using words, but has a lot of like importance in the community. But because you're trying to impress niggas and show them like, I don't love no hoe, I don't do this, I don't do that, I break hearts, I do this. Why are you trying to get like, but why are you doing that? Like, what is the point of that? Are you dating this man? Are you trying to date this man? Because at this point, I'm going to feel like you're trying to show off for this man. Like, I feel like a lot of men do a lot of things for other men, right?
They do.
They do. And for me, when I'm doing stuff for other men, he's either my man, or I'm trying to get his attention to be my man.
Right.
So I don't, no, that's my homie. Like, we work, and all y'all are a bandwagon of fools, like just pure stupidity. Like, I'm sorry, and I don't want to just call Black men stupid, but I feel like the actions that sometimes we take are stupid actions. Like, it's just like, that's just silly. When it comes to Black women, I'm gonna call you out your name, because I feel like Black women bear so much.
They do.
In and out of the community that is just like, now I gotta let you know. Yeah. And like, I've heard people say, well, if that's the case, people said this, if that's the case, why don't you be with women? Why don't you do this? And I'm like, if I was with a woman, niggas would want to kill me, because I will show y'all how to really do this shit that you're supposed to do. I will show you, and y'all will be so mad with me. Y'all will want to kill me, because they'll be like, nah, he's showing women this is really how you're supposed to be treated. And shout outs to the Black men Black kings, because that's a king right there. Like Chancey always say, that's a black king right there. Shout out to the black men.
We stand a black king.
Yeah. Right, we stand a black king. Shout out to the black men who take care of black women, who take care of their families, who take care of their friends, who combats the toxic masculinity while still being able to have respect for themselves and have like an understanding that you are who you are, and because you are respecting and advocating for a specific, underrepresented group of people, that you still can do that without feeling like I don't want people to look at me a certain way and think that I'm a part of this group. And even if that was the case, that is still toxic masculine thinking. Like, yeah, like, so what's the issue? Like,
it's just a bad thought process. Because
yes.
Like, what's the point? Not what's the point. What am I trying to say? Like, you shouldn't lose yourself. Like, you should be who you are no matter what. And I think it just boils down to like men, especially, and definitely black men, like really working on themselves, myself included. Like, I'm not gonna try and talk like I got everything resolved.
Right.
I got this book and I could teach you how to do it. But it's like the willingness and the understanding that one, whether you speak about it from a point of like black women as the black women that we date, or just black women in our community, as a community, we're not complete without black women.
Period.
Whether they're your partner or they're just your friend, whoever.
Period.
We're not complete. They are the backbone, so to speak, of everything. Right?
The backbone, the rib.
They are mothers.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Our friends, if you date black women, they're your partners.
Mm-hmm.
And if
and they're your friend, yeah.
Like, it's how can you as a man mistreat or misuse women in that way? I could never wrap my mind around it, because even like with whatever was wrong with me meant, like as far as like my development as a person, I've never thought about hurting a woman. So like whenever I think about it, it's like physically.
Yeah.
And then it also goes down to how you treat them mentally, right?
Yeah.
How you interact with them, like how you treat them in your relationships. How if you're gaslighting them and making them feel less than themselves, or what it like is like we just have to support them.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that. And my last thing on this right here, would be I'm going to say this, and I don't think we touched on this, Chancey, but Black queer men who also do not protect Black women.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Because we are not exempt.
We are not exempt.
No, we're not exempt.
We're not exempt to just stand on the side. We are not exempt of none of that. But more importantly, stop saying and doing things to disrupt Black women's peace.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Queer men I've heard queer men say, "Oh, I'm gonna take that bitch's nigga. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." That's still a part of disrupting their peace and not protecting. Or just saying crazy wild things to Black women and women in general when
feeling like they could fight women and everything like that.
Yeah, I always say I am 270 pounds. Mm-hmm. Only way I'm fighting a woman is if it's like 10 of them trying to fight me at one time, or somebody that's like 3 times my size. Like that's the only time I gotta defend myself. Or no shade. Right. But when it comes to physicality, like I'm not doing that. Like I'm not going there no matter what. No matter my identity, I'm not going there with you. I don't even argue with. Well, I'm not going back and forth. And not because you're a woman, I'm a man, but because I respect women so much that I'm not getting to an argument with you, because some things can be said, some things can be thrown, and not thrown physically, but like words, and it will come off differently, right? Right. Like it would come off so crazy, and I'm not doing that for the very people that I'm trying to protect. I'm not gonna let you talk to me crazy.
Right.
I'm not letting nobody do that.
Right.
I'm actually go get your brother or your husband or your father or somebody that can really get it with me. But other than that, I'm not gonna go there with you. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I just feel like queer men, we're not exempt. Stop saying that, even though we don't. You know, for the most part. But when you say things,
when you say things and you do things.
It bothers me. It bothers me.
No, that's that. No, I agree. I agree with you 100%. Because I mean, it's not like I haven't seen it, and I know me. Like, I know sometimes, you know, I think some people might think that I might feel like I would do that, and it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, now, I'm not exempt from getting anybody together because if you shade me, I'm gonna shade you back.
I'm gonna shade you back, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna shade you back.
Everything within reason, you know, like
everything. Yes. Everything within reason. Everything with being as respectful as I can be. You know,
it's like if I'm gonna come for you, I'm gonna come for you. I'm not gonna come for your identity. Like if you're gonna disrespect me, I'm inclined to maybe give you something back. You know, I don't have to, and I'm mostly a peaceful person. But you know, if you push a line and I react, you know, like even
just react, baby.
Oh yeah.
Even when it comes to physicality, because like, you know, if you're a woman and you're hitting me, I might not hit you right off top, but just to stop it, I might.
Yeah.
So like, but you know, even in that case, because like I was watching this reality TV show with my friend, Are You the One? And the girl was hitting the guy, and all the guy did was like shove her off just to get her off him. And everybody was like, man, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that as a woman. I was like, man, I don't know. She was kind of asking for it because he was laying down, he was asleep. She was hammering him. So it's like, I definitely don't advocate for violence.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't advocate for violence.
Yeah.
As a man, always in that position of like, don't do it. But I also believe if you're gonna approach me and attack me, I should at least be able to get you off me without
100%.
That's defense.
That's defense. Yeah.
No, and if I gotta put a little force in it for you to like back off to really get you off. Right. I'm going to put a little force, but I ain't putting no force where I'm just trying to like knock you out. Like if you're a woman, I'm not going to do that. But like, again, we are human. So sometimes when we get mad, we take butt so much. Like I saw a video where a guy in New York, he and a girl was going back and forth. He said something disrespectful to her. She felt some type of way. She said, I'm going to get somebody. Don't worry, I'll be back. He said something. She popped off on him, wailing on him. Everybody around him laughing. Ha, 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 ha. Nobody trying to stop him. He bucked up to her, started swinging. She was dipping the swings though. Like she was dipping it. I don't know. I think she's been in a few fights because she was dipping. And they like, no, that's woman. Yeah. He like, y'all should have been told. Y'all should have chilled off. Like y'all should have took her off of me. Like, no, that's a woman. No, I get it, but I'm respect. Let's respect each other.
And again, I'm always going to defer and like try my best to just keep my hands.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do cross lines.
Yeah.
If they're gonna cross a line, they should be able to deal with a bit of the consequences.
Yeah. 100%. At that point, I'm gonna have to get my sister or my sisters or cousins or best friends that will rock somebody for me because
if it comes to that, that's like deep, like
if it comes to that, because typically I'm like, I don't, you know what I'm saying. But
everyday interaction,
absolutely.
I just might mace you and keep it pushing.
I had mace before. I'm glad I didn't have to use it because after the mace, it would have followed up with an uppercut and a 2-piece, a 3-piece.
3-piece. Okay, listen.
Chancey said I'm not getting my hands dirty, bitch.
I'm not getting my hands. I'm gonna mace you. Okay. You better hope I don't have the. You better hope I don't have the taser on me that day either. Okay.
See now, I bought
my shit in the back of an Uber.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was actually right when the George Floyd protest started in Philly.
Okay.
And I went to ShopRite to go get something because remember the protests were really, really bad in Philly. And we were on a curfew, so like you couldn't leave out your house after a certain time. And so I was just going to ShopRite to get some stuff to cook, and it was 2 for $20. I said, okay, well let me just buy both.
Well, okay.
I had mace before that though, but I lost it.
Just sometimes people need a little shock. But no, I definitely feel like, at the end of the day, again, to finish that point out, we definitely, as Black men, no matter the other identities that you share, we need to respect and protect Black women at all costs. And we have not yet done it at all costs. We have done just a little bit, if that, to try to say, okay, let me glaze it over. Let me touch the surface just a tad bit. No, we need to dig deep. And even for me, I need to dig deep and find ways that I could just give back to women and do, you know what I mean? Like, I can sit here and talk, but I need to put in action as well. And so I'm still trying to find ways to do that. And I think the best way to do that is asking Black women what they need from us instead of trying to assume and place all these legislation stuff on women and all these different things. Like, no, we need to really fucking ask them what do they want and what they need and give it what they want and what they need. You get what I'm saying? Like, whatever's feasible for us to do, which I feel like most of what they ask for is feasible. So let's be clear.
Yeah, there's much that is like arguable or like we can't do.
Right.
So that's that.
You had other questions.
You did have other questions.
I did have other questions. Oh, okay. So we talk about a lot of these different things, and I kind of want to like change it up a little bit. And I have some questions for you, Nick, because as y'all know, like Nick is our engineer. He does a lot of the great work. When you hear our audio, no, he's fixing it. He's making it sound really good. So you've been doing this for us for a while now.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. Okay.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. Our 1 year is actually June 1st.
So yeah, right. We had a year. And you guys contacted me like mid-May, I think it was. So
yeah. After we were fucked over by somebody else.
Yeah. Chancey, shut up. But anyway.
I go to North Carolina often, so I just want to know if I ever run into him. But
oh my God. Anyway, back to the question. Whoa, let me get to the question. You have listened to us time and time again.
Right.
What goes on in your head when you're listening to us? We're crazy. Do you say, man, these motherfuckers is funny, or like, what is it that you think, like, truly and honestly?
I mean, first of all, like, I know y'all are friends, so I approach it from that scope. Like, y'all talk to each other like friends. You talk to each other like I would talk to my friends, like, with the realness, like, you'll curse each other, make conversation, like,
right.
between y'all. So I definitely enjoy that, and it's good to listen to because I know it's not scripted and it's not formulated like y'all, just like we are. Like, y'all are talking to each other straightforward.
Right.
Like, y'all are hilarious. Even the last episode, I hit
the Maya Angelou.
I hit Chancey.
No.
I hit Chancey. He blew in.
When I blew into the microphone.
He blew into the microphone so hard. I was like in my. I kid you not. I spent maybe 10, 15 minutes on that little clip trying to make sure that to keep it because it needed to stay. Like it was an integral part of the conversation. But it was so aggressive. Like it was just the audio was here. So if this is like the wave and then the blow was like that, and I'm like, I had to go like, yo, like how hard did you blow in the mic? Like
it was all the wind. It was the wind.
I know you probably can't hear it, but in the original audio, you can actually hear him take the and knock that joint out.
Ciao.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
I was also laying down.
Oh.
Okay. In my defense, how about that? I was also laying down. I was. In my defense, I was laying down, and maybe I was winded.
Child, laying down and winded. Laying down and winded. You're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing.
I know, but
No, that's funny.
I screamed when he messaged me too. Like I screamed. Like, I don't know where. I think I was out somewhere, but I screamed. I was like,
and I know you screamed
because I knew what he was talking. Because I knew exactly what he was talking about as soon as because I listened to it back already.
Okay,
I enjoy it, and all the topics you guys talked about. I enjoy listening to them, and
okay,
you know, whether it's something that I know a lot about or
right,
whatever it is, I enjoy listening to it. So you guys are fun to listen to.
Well, we appreciate that because my worry is this. You know, I know sometimes we go past the hour sometimes, and my not worry, but I'm because sometimes I don't like to listen to myself. I'm like, why would I say that? I don't sound right. But to other people, they like it. So
I love listening to you.
Really? And I love listening to you.
But I hate listening to myself.
It depends on it depends on what it is though. For me. So when other people who are not as close to us or you know what I mean? Nick, in your case, right? You editing my head, I'm like, damn, he probably yo, they saying some crazy shit. And we be edit this out, edit that out, edit this out, or you could just do this. I'd be like,
I know I knew that was our first worry because when we had our first, well, we won't count him, but when we had someone who was doing stuff for us, I kind of gave the preface. It was we gonna get really graphic, just so you know. And but I could tell this wasn't the project for him to be working on. After when I look back on it, just who he is as a person and his morals and his values and everything like that. And not to say that I wouldn't call him any. I wouldn't call him any blank phobic, but I just kind of knew. I kind of knew afterwards. I'm like, you know what? This probably was a good thing. It probably wasn't supposed to be what it was. So I remember when I recorded the first few episodes, specifically bisexual as fuck.
I remember that was the first.
That was the first episode. That was the second. That was the first episode. The first episode we ever did was
first one was yes.
But the first episode we ever sent you, I think, was bisexual as fuck. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, because I know the stuff because like you said, we're friends and we've been friends for so long. So I know the stuff that we talked about on that when I know it. I remember. So I'm like, child, I'm like,
I don't know. I don't think then I was like that. I feel like more so now I've been like that. Then I was like, bitch, we on a podcast.
No. When I immediately did that, I was like, I'm thinking because that's the episode, Charles, we was talking about trade.
Mm-hmm.
We was talking about, oh God, what was we talking about?
We were talking about, we got graphic. I think we talked about a lot of sexual stuff too.
Yes.
Off rip. The only thing that happened, because I edit at home, I was playing man, is my mom listening to this? Because it's just wild.
That's another worry too. My aunt listened to one season. I mean, she listened to an episode before and she was like, I did not know your mouth was like that. I said, well, baby, it gets nastier.
It's nasty, okay.
I watch. I don't be caring, so I don't really be always thinking about what people listen to. But when certain things are played, my mom would be doing lunch, I'm like, damn, what does she think? What does she think?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I never listen when I'm at my mom's house. If I do, I have in my AirPods. So when
it be blasting in here. The whole house know you. Well, they probably not listening, but it be blasting in here.
It be blasting. Oh yeah.
See, they know our experiences. Okay, well,
my mom doesn't know about podcasting. She doesn't know about that stuff. So if I
neither does my mom.
I'm like this,
Neither does my mom. I just tell her I'm working on it. And she's like, okay, good, baby, that's great. Keep it up. And I'm like,
my mom, if I let her listen to an episode, she would be laughing because me and my mom have a relationship where we talk about everything. When I say everything, everything. Like, it gets graphic with us. And some people are not like that with their parents. Like, my mother explains stories of, like sexual endeavors. And some people be like, what? Your mom talk about? I'm like, yeah. No. She just never talked about the birds and the bees with me. But like, when she got comfortable to talk about her thing and I got comfortable to talk about my thing, that's that. So if she listened to an episode, she'd be like, oh, I want to listen to some more. What else y'all got up there? Put that on my phone. Put that on my phone. Put that on my phone. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, my aunt is a little bit more conservative. My aunt is, So it's kind of like switch roles. Like, you would expect my aunt to be really like, and my mom to be, your mother's, but it's switch. So when my aunt was like, oh my God, I was listening to it, she was like, I couldn't even get through it. I was like, girl, don't know what to tell you, Mama.
Don't know what to tell you.
So that was my question. That was my main question of your process of when you go through that.
I enjoy it. Like, I listen to it like a listener and then like try to do a little intricate.
Okay, I like that. I appreciate that. And that makes it all worth it too. And it shows it shows in when like you like return the audio back finished to us. It makes it a world of difference. Now I know you really actually like listen. You put obviously you have to, but like you put your time in it, and it shows. It really shows. Yeah. So I always knew he listened because when we first met, Nick, I wouldn't say you were quiet, but it was like,
Yeah, I mean that's me. That's me.
Yeah. So it was like, so I was like, Child, he probably think. I remember telling Charles one day, I was like, Child, he probably think we crazy as hell. I forgot what it was. It was one day I was like, he probably think we crazy as hell. Like,
they probably do.
But I knew you I knew you always listen, and I knew you always pay attention to detail. But I really, really knew when we did the episode about holidays, and you added the holiday music when we were singing, that was when that's it. That really confirmed everything that like I had already felt. Like I was like, okay, I know he's paying attention, but like when you did that unprovoked, unprovoked, I was like, okay. I'm like in my mind, I'm like, okay. I'm
always trying to like listen for things to like maybe add effects to conversation.
Yeah, because we sing a lot.
Nothing that will like take away from that.
Absolutely.
I don't want it to be like too out there, but
right.
Yeah. Definitely, probably like starting off other than like the blowing the mic, Chancey's laugh is also like his speaking voice is low, but when he laughs,
when he laughs,
that joint skyrocket.
He'd be like,
I'm like
up there.
Because like,
look, he's trying to contain it right now. Don't contain it. Don't contain
it. Charles's voice is like the way they edit it. Like Charles has like a louder voice, but his laugh matches his voice when he's speaking, right? But Chancey's voice is like it's mid tone, but then when he laughed, that joint pops. So
it'd be like, I'd be like, damn.
I have the volume for the voice, and the laugh will come through. I'm like, oh, pop! Like I gotta.
That's really. I mean, that's really me. Like I can't. Like that's really me. I can't.
Well, we at the end of the day appreciate you. Being here and really, staying true to this project that we have. It means a lot to us. Like, you know what I mean? It really, truly means a lot to us. And we can't thank you enough. Like, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't wait till this, blow up to something really, really. It's great already. Let's be clear. But like, when we start monetizing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait till we are able to give back to those who gave to us and helped us to be where we are. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely appreciate you for your commitment to this brand and this podcast and being here and not, looking at us and be like, all right, these dudes, all right. It's like, all right, listen, like, let's get this done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're part of the team too.
He came highly recommended though.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I appreciate y'all having me. Like you guys, other than the thing I did with Amir, like you guys are my first podcast. Like I did as much as you didn't know anything going in. Like I knew how to use the equipment and how to edit, but I never did anything.
Wow.
So everything I did, and every episode I make adjustments and I learn more. So,
Love it.
I think that's how we are too. Like now we like, now we like, like I know when we first started recording, like my fucking Apple Watch would ring all the time, like all the fucking time. Like I put my phone on silent, but the Apple Watch wouldn't be. And I'm just like, fuck, like it's across the room, but it's like, I am not getting up right now.
Right.
But no, Charles is spot on. We appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely.
We
definitely
appreciate you. Like we really do. Always have. Not to say that we haven't, but
Nah.
Yeah. We're pretty low maintenance.
Yeah, like it's not like there's nothing that you ask for. I'm like, oh man, they want all this now. Like, nah, like it's nothing. It's within the scope of like what I do. Like cuts and edits and things like that. I got the equipment for it, of course.
Right.
Like, definitely.
There's never been a moment where you ask something and it's like, this is like way out of bounds. The only time something was hard was with the couples episode, and that wasn't even really your fault. That was just
that was
what's crazy? Like that episode is never going to see light of day, and I'm so upset because that was actually like, and we had. And like for y'all watching / listen, like Charles and I have had to re-record. It doesn't happen often, but when we've had to re-record, it's probably been like
twice.
Yeah. Twice.
Chancey was going through it. I was like, bitch, we good. We got this. He's like, I'm like when he's like, I'm like, okay. He'd be like, okay, all right. And then we make it
from Charles, by the way, they're always from me.
Say that again.
The notes are never from Charles. They're always from me.
Always.
Always.
Unless sometimes I have said.
Sometimes.
You think you could edit this part out, or you think you could do this, or you think you could do that?
Right.
Because I know that sometimes you be like, oh shit, I didn't want to say that, or that didn't make no sense, or whatever.
And when we name dropping,
Oh yeah.
Because we've told a lot of stories and said some.
Yeah. So that's that. But yeah, we appreciate you and glad to have had you on this episode. And this is amazing.
Or anything like, if you have anything else y'all want to ask, I'm cool.
Chancey, you got other questions?
We could do this or that really quickly and end it out.
Yes, because my stomach I'm growling over here, y'all.
Stomach touching your back?
Touching my back, and I gotta get my medicine. It's calling my name. Okay.
Oh, for your leg?
Oh. Yeah.
High grade.
Yeah.
Your drugs, okay.
Get all that shit out.
Yeah, get all that shit out. Okay. Henny or Douce?
Douce.
Backwoods or that little white paper?
It's called raw paper.
Bitch, I don't know.
I'll be using papers. I know.
Okay.
Papers is that girl. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I haven't tried Backwoods yet. No, I'm not even really trying to.
Really?
I'm trash.
I only started smoking last year, so like it's not even like I'm really been in the game. So like, I'm cool with papers. Like I'm not.
You just started smoking last year?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Before that, it was just like edibles, and even that was like early last year. So
okay, I tried it 10 years ago for the first time, and then I didn't like it. But then I recently started to do it a little bit. Like I do it when it's around. Like if it's around, I'll do it, but I don't spend my money on it.
I got it on me, but I don't do it every day. Like,
yeah. It's expensive. I think that's my thoughts on it, because that money could go towards a Telfar bag.
But okay, cool, whatever. I'm gonna just say I added into my budget. It's groceries for me.
Yeah, like I plan it out. So.
I plan it
That's
out.
because it's green and it comes from the ground does not make it groceries.
I don't know. I could argue that.
It fulfilled me. Me too. I could argue that, buddy.
It works.
I could argue that. It works. It works.
I know my budget for it is definitely lower than some others because I don't do it every day and like I don't need a lot of it.
Right.
I try to manage because I'm new. I'm trying to manage my tolerance so that I don't become too dependent. Because I also enjoy like the time being sober. Like I do think that you got to spend some time sober. You can't just be off it every day. Like I can't be off it every day. You know?
Right. Yeah. And let's be clear for the people who don't listen, this world is consumed, but not consumed, but like a lot of CBD stuff is coming up. Like, you know, like medicinal marijuana.
The story was that they were rubbing it on you and everything.
There's a lot of things. So at a point, everybody, not everybody, but when I say everybody, I'm being exaggerating, it's going to be, you know, taking their edibles or doing their trees or whatever the case may be. So
edibles scare me.
What that bitch, she said, "Oh, this does nothing for my figure." That's how I feel with it.
Okay. Do you call it a bodega or the poppy store?
I'll be saying corner store.
Ooh,
corner store, yeah. Okay. I say corner store too.
Okay.
When I be talking to people, I'll be like bodega.
Okay.
I've never said bodega, but I guess I'm more likely to say bodega. I've never said poppy store in my life. I didn't. When I heard it, I'm like, what the heck is that? But then it's like for me, it's corner store or like the store. Like I don't be overcomplicating it. Okay.
Even
when it's not at the corner, I still be like, it'd be in the middle of the street. I'd be corner store.
Right, like your corner store. Right.
Okay. Harlem or Brooklyn?
Oh, I gotta say Brooklyn. Yeah, I can't do that. I got the Brooklyn sign on. I'm in Flatbush. I can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. You in Brooklyn. Right?
I just wanted to test it. I just wanted to see what he was going to say. Just want to see
your loyalty. Like,
just see what he was going to say. I enjoy Harlem more, but
my school was in Harlem, so I did spend a lot of time in Harlem. I do like it over there. Like,
yeah.
It's still Brooklyn till I die, because you know.
Period. I have one. I don't know if you want to ask more, but if
go ahead, ask.
I don't know. I guess it'd be the last one. So for this summer, are you outside or are you inside?
I'm gonna be a little bit of a hybrid.
Okay.
Not a hybrid.
I like that.
I think my social meter hasn't adjusted back to being outside, but my career is still an outside career. Like I'm still a musician and like gigs and stuff is opening. And I'm gonna go to a couple parties, but I want to be outside, but I don't want to be around a lot of people.
Makes sense. Like, I like that.
I'm gonna definitely be outside.
Period.
I didn't get vaccinated for that, you know. Like
Period.
I feel that. Okay. I feel
that too. I love it.
Yeah. That shit is not for the weak, so.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I ain't got no more. But I mean, Nick, is there anything you ever wanted to ask us?
Not off the top.
Okay.
I mean, you guys already like talk about how well you love my services, but you know, anything you want to like critique or like.
We don't want to critique anything. We just want to say thank you again so much.
Yes, thank you.
We're going to always thank you. Even if you were like, damn, y'all thank me enough. Y'all thank me so much. No. Keep thanking you.
Period.
You need that recognition. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for not only the podcast, but in your future and what you do and things like that. And so, we appreciate you. And it's only up from here. And that's on what, Chancey? Chancey, that's on what? Mary had a little lamb, bitch.
Bitch, it's 11:58 at night. I'm sorry. Can you do it again?
All right, you got your work cut out for you, nigga.
You gonna do it again for me?
And that's on what, Chancey?
That's on Mary had a little lamb.
Period. This bitch. Are you gonna end it? Are you gonna end the show?
Keep that part in. Keep that part in, okay?
Yeah, we need that part.
Keep that part in. Cursing me out, bitch.
Like, bitch, you're gonna have to edit this.
No, keep all this in. Let them see who you are. Let them see who you are, okay?
When someone showed you who they are, believe them.
Bye.
Don't let anyone in this entire world tell you any different. And they show you who they are. I am Maya Angelou, and I'm out.
I can't even turn my chair all the way around.
My chair doesn't even spin. I'm stuck.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
Rest easy. Bye.
I am stopping the recording. Bye.